What is up, traders? Hope everybody's doing well. Today I'm going to be going over this 170 handle win today taken on NASDAQ. So I'm going to be going over the reasoning behind it and how I ended up taking it. So let's get straight into it. Four-hour chart from the weekly analysis that I posted here on YouTube. I was saying that I want to see these sell sides swept for me, and then from there see if price is showing bullish structure to then start to push higher, or to just completely from the open just shoot up. So I was kind of, you could say I was neutral in terms of like Monday, but once we came to the session and we saw this big new week opening gap to the upside, and then I dropped down to the 1 hour. So we had all this trailing sell side right here, all of this, and we had a portion of the new week opening gap that was unfilled at all. So this is a real liquidity void, right? So we had all this sell side, and then this liquidity void that hasn't been touched at all. So that made me more bearish biased this session to fill those up and to sweep all this trailing sell side liquidity right here. So what aided my bias very, very nicely is once we took out this buy side right here, right? So we took out this high that we made prior, and then once we made that high, we pushed lower very, very strongly before my macro, which is at 945. And we ended up sweeping sell side liquidity and London lows. But I was still bearish biased even after this because there's still more sell side liquidity lower, and we haven't even filled or tapped into the liquidity void that I mentioned. So I was still bearish biased even after this drop. So I waited for the 2 a.m. macro to look for an entry to potentially drop lower and target that sell side or that liquidity void as well. So here we are, second AM macro, which is 10:45 for me. This is where it starts. It's at 10:50, but I look to enter at around 10:45. So right here, we push lower from here. The reason I didn't take this entry right here was because we hadn't swept this high. We just tapped it. We barely tapped it, and there was no SMT with ES with these highs. It was this exact same with ES. So I wanted to see this high swept for me to be more confident in the drop. So I waited, and then we took those equal highs out. We had SMT with ES on this fashion right here. Like ES from here to here was a new high, and then NQ was not, right? NQ didn't, it failed. So this was a nice SMT. So from there, I was like, okay, any break of structure, I'll take it. So right here with this close lower, we break structure and we inverse the 930 value gap. So that's why I entered immediately on that close. I didn't wait for any retracement, and then I put in my stop loss above the high, right at it, basically. And I could have, if I didn't catch this entry, I could have entered on this retracement, no problem. Or if you didn't catch the entry, you could have entered the retracement. But yeah, so I waited. As soon as this closed, we broke structure, time of day, and then we've taken out the equal highs, SMT, inversing the 930 value gap, also closing below the April 13th new week opening gap high, which is this week's new week opening gap high. So now my draw was actually all the way lower to the new week opening gap low. That was my ultimate draw, but obviously I'm not looking to hold that long, honestly. I was in 3 contracts on this. Initially I was planning to take off one here, one at this low, and then one at this sell side liquidity low, which is the low that we've made prior to this push up right there. See, so that was my final target in terms of my TP. I still did believe that we're going to fill in the new week opening gap lower. But I ended up taking 2 off this low, right? Because I started to see how price was kind of stagnating. So I took off 2. And then when price here swept on NQ, this daily low, ES was quite behind. So I was afraid that we might have an SMT and some sort of reversal before we eventually come back down and fill this new week opening gap. So I just closed out fully at the daily low, basically, for 170 handles. Had I left, it would have been around 230. I wasn't targeting, in terms of my TP, the new week opening gap fill. I was targeting this sell side liquidity, but it is what it is. Cashed out fully at around 170 handles, almost exactly at this low right here, for a very, very nice W here today to start out Monday. So yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you guys found this insightful. If you want more pre and post session analysis just like this, feel free to join my free Discord. Link is in the description. Also, if you're starting out with trading or struggling, I do have my free mentorship videos, lectures that I'm posting here on YouTube. Feel free to tune in, join, and watch that. Also, I have my one-on-one private mentorship that I have currently going. So if you want to see if you qualify for my mentorship, my Calendly link is in the description if you want to book your free discovery call. All right. Hope you guys found this insightful. Until next time, stay safe and happy trading.